guys, it's Zologe here and welcome to the deck profile for the Heraldic Beasts 2.0. A while back I did a deck profile on it, and now we're going to be doing another one. This is an updated one which is a lot more aggressive, and it's amazing now that we have augmentation as well as Amphisbaena in the game. So without further ado, let's go into the deck profile, and I will explain my choices as we go along. This is a very aggressive deck, so without further ado, let's go into it. So first we have one Photon Thrasher. I have my reasons for doing this. This was an old card that we used to use before we got Assault Halberd. I still prefer to use this guy, at least one of him, because of his, zero defense and the fact that you can special summon from your hand when you don't control anything. And unlike, Assault Halberd, you can use this when you go first, so that is really nice. Whereas this guy, you can't special summon him if you go first, because your opponent has to control a monster for you to special summon Assault Halberd from your hand. So yeah. Next we go for a triple Leo. This is our big searcher. We're going to be abusing him a lot, really a lot, since when he's sent to the graveyard by any means, you can search one Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except himself. There are very many ways to get this guy to the graveyard. You can foolish him, you can send it to the graveyard from your hand through Amphisbaena's cost. You can send him for the cost for Heraldry Augmentation, you can detach him as material, and all those kinds of ways. And the funny thing is with him is that since we have a twin-headed eagle, we can abuse this guy to an insane degree. Almost as much as Skarm can be abused in Burning Abyss. But technically this card is better than Skarm in a sense, because you don't have to wait to the end phase until you get your card. But Skarm has the more versatile monster pool than this guy has. But still, it's a very good card. One of the best search cards in the game. I can't believe this is a rare normally. Next we go for double Assault Halberd. This is like basically a mini replacement of sorts to Photon Thrasher, because you can search out other warriors. Well, other heroic challengers, and it's a nice card to have. This deck kind of runs not necessarily a Clownblade engine, but you can run the Clownblade engine in this if you really want to. But the main one is of course going to be your Assault Halberd as well as your Thousand Blades. Those are going to be the ones that you're going to be running. Next, of course, we run the triple Amphisbaena, and this card is absolutely amazing. You can discard one other Heraldic Beast monster from your hand to special summon him. The other effect is that you can discard one from your hand to have him gain 800 attack. It's not all that great a second effect, but you're mainly just going to use him for Xyz fodder anyway. It's a really fast monster, because you can special summon it whenever. So he's rarely, if at all, dead in this, which is really, really nice. Next, go for one Masked Chameleon, because we run one Photon Thrasher. These guys, since he's searchable by King of the Feral Imps, I thought, hey, why not run a little Masked Thrasher engine in it? It's not huge. You can run more than what I run, but I just wanted to try out the Assault Halberd in it, and it works very well. This is a very aggressive build. Next, we run double Thousand Blades. This is basically for things like Ring of Destruction, as well as just taking damage in general. We can special summon this guy from our graveyard, and then we open just up a lot of rank 4 plays after that, as long as they don't get rid of it. Hence why we run 2. Next we go for the triple Twin-Headed Eagle, which is a really nice card, since you can banish it from a graveyard to target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard to attach them as material on a Xyz monster that has no materials, which is really cool, because then you can repurpose and reuse monsters that it normally doesn't have any uses left. Like for instance, one which you're probably going to be using a shitload in this is this guy, but the main one you're probably going to be going into a lot is Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, and it is amazing if you're running up against something that has huge amounts of attack. You can just go as a Dark Rebellion, absorb its effect twice, absorb attack twice, because he doesn't have a turn restriction on how many times you can use it, so that is really cool. So say that your opponent has 2 monsters that have like decent attack, like 1900 plus, you can just go ahead and Dark Rebellion both of them and get a huge beat stick on board for basically nothing. And it's also nice to reuse Leo multiple times, and it's your main way of doing so. Next, we go for the triple Unicorn. This is not a fantastic card by any means, but it's still a Heraldic Beast, and when while it's in your graveyard, as long as you have another Xyz Psychic type monster in your graveyard, you can banish it to special summon that from the graveyard. But its effects are negated, but it's a free beat stick, so I'm not gonna complain, which is kind of nice, I guess. Next we go for a triple Kage Kage. This is a mainstay in any rank 4 Xyz deck that isn't Satellar Knights, basically because it's searchable by King of the Feral Imps as well. And you just normal summon one level 4, you special summon this guy from your hand, and you go for an instant Xyz. It's really, really nice. Especially if you open up Leo plus Kage to Kage, that's a really good start. Or Thrasher, Leo, or Assault Halberd, Leo, that's some pretty good starting hands. Next we go for triple Rhoda. This is just to search out our Thrasher as well as our Assault Halberds, and maybe the Heroic Challengers, the Thousand Blades, if you really want him in your hand. You don't necessarily want him in your hand because, you know, he's kind of dead there. You want him basically in your graveyard, hence why we run things like Foolish Burial as well as Lavable Chain to get him there for future plays. Next we run the triple Advanced Heraldry Art, and this card is amazing. I love it. One of my favorite spell cards in the game, actually, just because of how versatile it is. Sure, it's treated as 2 summons, which means that your opponent will draw 2 cards from Max C from it, but it's a nasty card to run into because it just extends your plays to a phenomenal degree. It turns something like a Xyz cost into something that you can actually use. It's basically a mini, I guess, soul charge in a sense that doesn't rob you of life points or your battle phase, so it's amazing. Next we go for a Foolish Burial. This is just to send things like, Thousand Blades as well as Heraldic Beast Leo to the graveyard to use them for later, or maybe just get a search off of them. That's really cool too. This card is really versatile in the back. Next we go for triple Heraldry Reborn. This is basically just a monster reborn for Heraldic Beast monsters. Nothing too fancy there. And finally, Heraldry Augmentation rounds up the spells. You can discard, first and foremost, Psychic type Xyz monsters you control cannot be on the field per period, cannot be targeted by spell and trap card effects, which is pretty nice. And of course, you also get the nice effect that you can discard 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your hand to add a Heraldry spell / trap card from your deck to your hand, which, cough cough, Heraldry, Advanced Heraldry Art, cough cough, Reborn, basically. That's basically what you're going to be adding to your hand. However, you cannot normal or special summon monsters during turn to activate this effect except Psychic type Xyz monsters and Heraldic Beast monsters. So it has a big restriction on it, but generally when you want to activate this effect, you're going to be going for an extensive play and you already have Xyz monsters on board to use. But you can still have it there for the protection effect for your Patriarchs and your King. This guy right here. So that's basically going to be the ones that you're going to be protecting with it. Next we go for 1 Heraldry Change. It's a tech card, really. It's basically a Valkyris that special summons from hand. When your opponent declares an attack, you can special summon 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your hand and then end the battle phase, which is really nice. It basically is a trap version of Battle Fader. Yeah, that's more accurate, yeah. Next up, of course, we've run 1 Bottomless Trap Hole to stop plays, 2 Breakthrough Skills to stop monster effects, then 1 Ring of Destruction. This card is multi-purpose, getting rid of opponent's monsters as well as triggering your Thousand Blades effect, which is really nice. And finally, 1 Solemn Warning. And that runs up the main deck. As for the extra deck, we run 1 Constellar Ptolemy Meister 7. Then we go for 1 Diamond, 1 Pallades, 1 Delteros, 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, 1 Heraldic King Genome Heritage, 1 double King of the Feral Imps, double Patriarch, 1 Blade Armor Ninja, 1 Castel, 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Lovable Chain, and finally 1 Planetary Knight for Ptolemaeus. So that runs up the extract, guys, so tell me what you think, and I'm out!